Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Lisa Ann Spencer. Thank you for stopping by today. I hope you'll maybe grab yourself a cup of coffee and just sit a spell, because today I'm participating in a Get to Know Me tag. I was tagged by Kimberly over at the Homeschooling Grammy, so be sure to drop down in the description box and take a look at her channel. You'll find lots of goodies there. She's a homeschooling grandmother, obviously, but she also does a lot of encouragement and just fun things where she lives, so be sure to check her out. So today what I'm doing is I am just answering a series of questions in this Get to Know Me tag. So I've got my notes right here in front of me, and I'm just going to read the questions and answer them. I did think about some of them a little bit. Some of them I just said, okay, I'm not going to think about that. I'll just answer it tomorrow when I do the video. So I'll try to be as unedited as possible here so you can get to know me. All right, so question one, when is your birthday? I mean, like, wow, that's a personal question. My birthday's in October. It's my favorite month and it's my favorite time of year. I think I'll refrain from saying what day it is. I don't really mind you knowing how old I am. I've said that numerous times. I'm 55. I'm proud to have lived this long. I didn't know that I really would make it to 55, so here I am. But anyway, I'm an October baby. What is my favorite color? Well, I love all the colors, and it's always been hard for me to choose a favorite. I guess I kind of cycle through my favorites, but my goodness, that's an unfair question. I love them all. I guess like for myself to wear, I go for the blues. When I go to Goodwill, I go right to the blue shirt section. I don't know if I think I look good in blue or if I just like blue. But anyway, so we're going to go with blue today. If I did this another time, I might choose another color. Number 3, do you have any siblings? I do. I have a baby brother who's 10 years younger than me, and you know, a real brother like my mom and dad. He's my flesh and blood, and he's really special to me because I was almost 10 when he was born, and I had been begging for a baby brother or sister as long as I could talk, I'm sure. And he was just like my first baby. And sadly, we did not get to grow up together very long because our parents divorced when he was about 2 or 3 years old. And then our mom died in a car accident. So my dad had already remarried, and we just did not get to spend as much time together as I would like. I have a half sister who's 15 years younger than me, and I enjoyed her very much too when she was a little baby. I always loved children and enjoyed playing with her. But again, my dad and her mother were not married very long, 4 years maybe, and they were rocky years, and I did not get to see her very much at all. She spent a lot of time with her mother at her grandmother's house. So anyway, I do have siblings. I do try to maintain a relationship with them. Because I'm the oldest, most often it's me doing the reaching out to them. But I love them, and I don't think they watch my channel, but if they did, you know, I hope you do know how much I love you. All right, number 4. Again, what is your favorite food? I don't know if I have a favorite food. Chocolate is not really a food, it's more like a dessert. I like a steak, but I don't know, I love shrimp scampi very much. I like all foods, just like all colors. That's a problem. I wish I didn't. I wish I was a picky eater. But anyway, can't really answer that one fairly. Number 5 is how many states have you visited? So can we count the ones I've lived in? Let me tell you the states that I've lived in. I've lived in Mississippi twice, no, 3 times. Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama. I've actually lived in Alabama on 3 separate occasions. Indiana, I've lived there twice. Wisconsin, Ohio, and Georgia. So if I added them up correctly, I mean each individual state, that's 8 states. And then I've visited for sure Texas, Michigan, New Mexico, California, Nevada, Alaska, Tennessee, Florida, Missouri, South Dakota, Minnesota, North Carolina, Kansas, where I've actually, gone to a particular spot there, not necessarily as a vacation, but yeah, lots of these were vacations or to visit somebody in particular and go sightseeing and things like that. So that's 13, so that's 21. I don't count, like I went to Alaska to see my brother when he was there and flew into Washington State. That happened to be on September 11th, and our flight was grounded, and we had to drive from Washington to Wisconsin. So we drove through a lot of states. We even made some touristy stops along the way. But I don't count Washington State and Idaho because I drove through them in the dark. I didn't even get to see, anything. So I didn't write those down. But I have driven through lots of states that I wouldn't consider myself as having visited. I mean, I think I've done some sightseeing in Nebraska and Oklahoma. But anyway, that's enough. Question number 6. Do you have any secret talents? None whatsoever. Really, I'm an okay organizer. Like I can see a cluttered mess, whatever, like a kitchen or even a workspace, and I can see how it would function so much better. Like even a backyard. I went to my in-laws and I was watching her years ago mow, and she had all these obstacles, and I said, "Can I make some changes in your backyard that would make it easier for you to mow?" My mother-in-law said, "Sure." And I just pulled up some bird feeders and put them in flower beds and just did different things. And, so I can see things. And really, that might come in handy every now and then. It helps when doing dishes and laundry and cooking lots of meals for people. So if that was a superpower, then I certainly have that. But no, I am very ordinary I have no talent. Let's see, number 7, the last book that I read. Well, I'm always going to put a plug in for the Bible. It is the book. That's what the Bible means, and I read it over and over and over again. I read it every day, and I love it, and I think everybody should read it. But as far as books go, so I have 2 Little Britches. You can see it's from the library by Ralph Moody. This is a book that I'm reading out loud to the family at night. I think it's in juvenile fiction. Is that biography? Anyway, several of my homeschooling friends had read this book and recommended it, and I just my library where I live never had it. So this one did, and I'm going to tell you, it's about a little boy who's becoming a man, and he loves horses. So I'm a horse lover, and my daughter, JB, she's a horse lover. But there are some intense and emotional content. I do recommend it. It's really good. I'm enjoying it, and we've got just a couple of chapters left before we're done. So I haven't actually finished reading that one yet. Not too long ago, I read Jane Austen's Emma. I have read it many times. I've read all of Jane Austen's works, but I wanted to go back through and reread it, and I did, and I enjoy it every time. Okay, next question. Favorite vacation? My very favorite vacation we took in 2015. We took our RV and we did the Laura Ingalls Wilder tour. Not the full thing, I suppose. I'm sure we missed some spots, but we went to Missouri and stayed where her and Almanzo lived the end of their life and were buried and had their apple farm. We went to Kansas to the Little House on the Prairie site. We went to De Smet, South Dakota, and spent some time there, and it was just glorious. We headed over to Minnesota to the banks of Plum Creek, and we ate at Nellie Olson's restaurant and all that. It was really a lot of fun, and my kids, they all said they loved it, and we would really like to do a repeat one day. Okay, if I could be an instant expert at something, so it would be at a musical instrument, really. I have a son who plays piano. Maybe some of you have heard him. He's very gifted and talented. He didn't get it from either of us, so it must come from somewhere further back in the family. But anyway, I suppose I've always wanted to know how to play the piano well, or maybe violin or flute, something. But if I could be an instant expert, obviously I don't want to not waste my time. I think it would be a waste because I don't have any, like, a real knack for it. So, I mean, I have tried. I've played the piano and I do it terribly. Like, it's really hard and I don't get it. So anyway, otherwise, I think I would like to be an expert, like as endocrinology, hormones and cancer causing, and be able to know stuff really and be able to help people who are struggling in those areas. Okay, let's see. Last question. If I were stranded on a desert island, what would I take with me? Oh, I would, I read this question out loud to my little Janie Bell, who wakes up with me every morning and reads her Bible. She does it of her own free will. She enjoys it. She said, "Oh, Mom, your Bible, of course." And I'm like, yeah, obviously I would want to have my Bible everywhere I went. But in reality, I don't want to be stranded on a desert island. I guess if I could be like Swiss Family Robinson and have my whole family with me, and my Bible, and coffee, and a way to make it, and cream for my coffee, but that's already more than 3 things, and chocolate. But I guess I would want a boat so that I could get off the island anytime I wanted, that was fully stocked with supplies, and a map so that I could find my way back home, because there's no place like home. So anyway, I hope you've kind of enjoyed this little get to know me tag, and I'm going to be tagging Rosalind Jukic, who lives over in Croatia, and I've kind of gotten to know her channel recently, and so I'm tagging her, and I will put a link to her channel also below, though it may take her, a few days to get the tag answered and edited and then uploaded. But anyway, I hope you'll be sure to check out her channel too. And if there's any other ladies I have requested and asked would they like to be tagged, so if they say yes, I will also include the links to their channel below. So thank you for your time. I hope you'll come back and see me again soon.